Welcome back to the ministry. And I really do feel like this is going to be like the last part of this. But in the song, Take It Back, from that, I kind of got the vibe or understanding that you have to get back to what it took in these moments when things seem like they're falling apart. You need to reevaluate the very things in your relationship that led to, come on, let's be honest, the separation of you and your spouse. And you need to think about the responsibilities, the things, the steps taken, so on and so forth, necessary to continue to maintain a happy and healthy relationship with your spouse, so that you are not deviating and being led off into a stray, separating from your spouse when you don't need to be, because you aren't taking the steps necessary to maintain a relationship. But what about him? He should be too. Some of y'all, these two books I've been talking about, Make God Your Matchmaker and Love and Respect, these needs to be your guides to your marriage, period. Along with the 5 love languages. Because that will keep you, specifically love and respect, will keep you in the hard times. But the 12 steps are as follows. Prepare to be a helper. Cultivate your relationship once you're in it. But you should be cultivating it before you're in it, because you're cultivating it with God first, then the man. Practice commitment. Are you committed to the things and the projects and things you put your hands to? If you ain't committed to that, how are you going to be committed to a marriage? Cultivate your own esteem, self-esteem. Be willing to learn. Some people ain't married because you ain't willing to learn. Be self-aware and do the work. How many times I gotta scream at the top of my lungs? Do the work. Be willing to serve. Some people ain't married because they're not service oriented. Be willing to adjust to your husband's priorities. As a wife, you need to submit your own priorities and be willing to adjust to his. What does he need in the season that he's in that's going to make his life easier? Do that. Learn to pray as an intercessor. Some of y'all already know how to do that. But if you have not learned, got a whole prayer course, go look at it. Learn to properly care for your body. If you plan to be married and laying down with another individual, don't you think your body needs to be in the right order internally and externally? How are you cultivating what you are eating? And you know the things that you eat can determine how your body odor comes out. The fruits, the vegetables, the onions, the things, the garlic, all of that. Sometimes it's good for you, but sometimes when you cultivating and consecrating, it don't smell all that great. And some of y'all stress sweat. Think about what you're putting in your body in order to cultivate the right attitudes, moods, so on. Be willing to wait. Some of y'all have been crushed in this waiting process, but you can't get around it. You can't go over it. All you can do is go through it. Go through the waiting process. Do the work that we said in a couple other steps, because in the doing the work, the faster the waiting process will go. Because sometimes the only reason that you ain't in what you're supposed to be in is because God done said, I can't do that yet. Because of the fact that you didn't do the processing part I needed you to do. To whatever capacity he told you. Ask him what you missed. And then when you get those things, set goals to take steps toward doing them. That is what you need to do in order to maintain and continue to operate in this. Because you see, men desire to conquer things. There is a hierarchy in marriage. You must be able to submit to their authority, and don't get all feminist on me. You need to be able to receive their insight, operate in the responsibility of your marriage, and sexually satisfy your spouse and them you. Now, I'm going to go into sexuality in another video because it's a whole video by itself. We touched on it in divorce, what causes them to stray into marriage in relation to sex. But we also need to talk about sex in its fullness, okay? And I believe I'm going to need to talk about responsibility of being shoulder to shoulder with your spouse and sexuality, because they work hand in hand. So I'm going to come back in another video and do that. So until next time, bye-bye.